Have you ever left a conversation, maybe a tough meeting, or even just a chat feeling like you didn't quite say what you meant, or maybe said exactly the wrong thing?
Oh, absolutely. Happens all the time.
Well, today we're diving deep into achieving what our sources call assertive presence. They say it's absolutely crucial for leadership and just effective communication overall.
That's right. And assertive presence, it isn't about being the loudest person in the room.
Hmm.
Not at all. It's really about communicating with, well, integrity, clarity, and genuine respect.
Yeah.
And we're exploring this framework today called C.R.A.F.T. Think of it as a kind of complete operating system for how you communicate.
An operating system. I like that.
Yeah, built on these small, intentional micro-habits.
Yeah.
And something they actually call spiritual intelligence.
Okay, so our mission here is to give you a shortcut to mastering this. And the core idea, it seems, is defining assertive communication not as something you're born with, but as a skill of alignment.
Exactly. Alignment. It's about getting your thoughts, your intentions, and what you actually say perfectly in sync.
Right.
And when you nail that alignment, you basically change your default setting. You stop just reacting defensively.
Like blurting something out you instantly wish you could take back?
Precisely that. And instead, you start responding with integrity, with calm. C.R.A.F.T. is really designed to help you handle challenges with that calm presence, honor everyone's dignity, yours included, and build this really solid, trustworthy leadership presence in any situation.
That sounds like a pretty tall order. But the framework itself, C.R.A.F.T., it seems structured to make it manageable. 5 elements, right? Each with a kind of mantra.
Exactly. A simple blueprint to walk through it. First up is C, clarity.
Clarity. Okay.
This is all about delivering your core truth with precision, making sure your message isn't just, heard, but it's understood exactly the way you intend it.
Okay, and here's the first thing that jumped out at me. The mantra for clarity is, my clarity is my kindness. That feels, well, it feels backwards, doesn't it?
It does,
We
initially.
usually think kindness is softening things, being a bit vague maybe, to avoid hurting feelings.
Right. But the sources argue that short-term politeness causing long-term problems.
Yeah.
Vagueness creates confusion, friction, sometimes resentment down the line.
Mm-hmm.
By being really precise with your core message, you actually save the other person time, energy, future headaches. You respect them enough to be clear. So that precision, that's the real kindness, the considerate act.
Okay, that definitely reframes difficult conversations. So, if clarity is kindness, that leads us pretty naturally to our respect.
It does, defined simply as honoring the dignity of yourself and others. The whole point is building trust, strengthening those connections.
And the mantra reflects that directly.
Yep. My voice builds bridges, not walls. It's a constant reminder that assertion isn't about winning an argument or tearing someone down. It's about finding mutual understanding.
Got it. Okay, next element is internal. A, awareness. This is about sensing
Why?
your inner feelings and the vibe of the room before you speak.
Exactly that. Sensing the internal energy, what's going on inside you, and the external energy before you respond. Its entire purpose is to break that cycle of just reacting.
Ah, the reaction cycle. We all know that one.
We do, and the mantra nails it. I respond, I don't react. This element, awareness, is honestly where all the practice comes in. If you can't master that internal pause, the rest of C.R.A.F.T., well, it just doesn't work.
I can see that. Awareness gives you the pause. But what gives you the nerve, the courage to actually use that pause effectively, especially under pressure?
That brings us to F, fortitude.
Fortitude, okay.
This means speaking with calm courage,
Yeah.
real conviction. It's about responsible influence.
So it's the backbone.
Absolutely. If you've done the inner work on clarity, knowing your truth and awareness, pausing before reacting, then fortitude is what gives you the foundation to deliver that message calmly, even when it's tough.
And the mantra connects these.
Yes, my clarity is my confidence. Your conviction comes from knowing your clear message. Without that fortitude, your clear point just becomes a weak suggestion, easily brushed aside.
Right, okay. And the final piece, T, tastefulness.
Tastefulness. This is all about the delivery, how you package the truth, with tact, with timing, with grace. It's what keeps assertiveness from tipping over into aggression. It balances being firm with being approachable.
Finding that sweet spot.
Exactly. And the mantra here really sums up the whole aspiration of C.R.A.F.T., I think. I deliver truth with beauty.
Beauty, that's a strong word for communication.
It is, but it's intentional. It reminds you that the impact of your message hinges almost entirely on how it lands. You could be 100% correct, but if you deliver it carelessly or aggressively,
It fails. The message gets lost.
completely.
Okay, so we have the 5 elements: clarity, respect, awareness, fortitude, tastefulness. C.R.A.F.T. But just knowing the letters and mantras isn't enough, right? Section 2 gets into the how, the integration through daily practices.
Exactly. This is where it becomes real. The sources hammer this home. You have to actively practice. It's not theoretical.
And the recommendation is specific. Pick one micro habit for each element daily and pair it with a sort of mini ritual.
That's the core mechanic. Small, daily actions that turn these abstract ideas into actual, embodied skills. Muscle memory for communication.
Okay, let's dig into some examples. For clarity, there's a micro habit called the 10-word test. Why 10 words? That seems really restrictive.
It is, and that's the point. The constraint forces you to get laser focused. If you can't boil your main point down to 10 words or fewer, you probably haven't fully clarified it in your own mind yet.
Ruthless prioritization.
Exactly. And the related mini ritual, the voice Polish, is super quick, like 1 minute. You just speak one important truth out loud to yourself, and then you refine the wording, the tone, hear how it sounds.
Acoustic practice. I like that. Okay, what about respect? How does a ritual help you maintain respect when someone's, really pushing your buttons?
Well, a simple micro habit is just reflective listening, maybe quickly summarizing what you heard them say before you jump in.
Mm-hmm.
The mini ritual is called Mirror the Message. Takes maybe 2 minutes. After a tough interaction, you mentally replay it. But, and this is key, you force yourself to focus only on the other person's likely perspective or feeling.
Ooh, that sounds hard, especially when you feel defensive.
It is hard. That's why it's a ritual, a deliberate practice. You're training yourself out of that default defensiveness and trying to genuinely understand where they were coming from, whether they felt heard. It builds that bridge the mantra talks about.
Got it. Okay, awareness. You said this was fundamental. The mini ritual is center before speech. 3 minutes.
Yeah, about 3 minutes. And it's more than just take a deep breath.
Right. So what's involved in centering?
It's physical grounding, first feeling your feet on the floor, then some conscious breathing, diaphragmatic breaths, and a quick mental scan. Where's the tension in my body right now? What emotion is loudest?
Ah, so you're naming it.
You're noticing it. That little 3-minute window lets you see the rising anger or defensiveness so you can choose awareness instead of letting the emotion hijack your response.
That pause practice really does sound like the absolute prerequisite for fortitude. So if I'm grounded, how do I actually practice speaking with that calm courage?
Fortitude uses a mini ritual called Word is Blade.
Takes about 5 minutes.
Word is Blade. Sounds intense.
It's about precision and strength. You write down a difficult truth you need to share, refine the wording, make sure it's clear, respects the other person, etc. Then you practice saying it out loud, maybe just to the wall or your reflection.
A dry run.
Exactly. You practice delivering it with the calm conviction you want to have. It builds that muscle memory, so when the stakes are real, you're less likely to freeze up or back down.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Reduces the performance anxiety. Okay, finally, tastefulness. Beyond quick micro habits like a humor check or the classic compliment sandwich, there's a ritual called recast conversation. Yeah, this one might take a bit longer, maybe 10 minutes. And it's all about refining the delivery after the fact. You take a past difficult conversation, one maybe you didn't handle so well.
We all have those.
Definitely. And you literally rewrite the dialogue. Your parts, anyway. How could you have said what needed to be said, but more elegantly, more tactfully, with better timing?
So you're training your brain for graceful delivery.
You got it. You're teaching yourself how to deliver that truth with beauty, making tough messages more palatable, more likely to be received well.
These rituals really shift C.R.A.F.T. from just a nice idea to something you actively do. And if we do them, we should be better prepared for the inevitable test: conflict. Let's talk about Section 3, C.R.A.F.T. in conflict.
Right. And the first step, staying true to the framework, is recognition. You can't use the tools if you don't notice the need. Assertive presence starts by spotting those conflict triggers early.
What kind of triggers are we talking about?
Oh, things like sudden changes in tone or volume, loaded questions, accusations, someone repeating themselves over and over, or constantly talking over others, aggressive body language, leaning in, pointing, etc.
Okay, so when you notice those triggers, that's the signal. That's when you need to activate awareness. And the first tool is?
Non-negotiable first step,
Mm-hmm.
the internal pause. Just 3 to 5 seconds. Mentally step back, ground yourself, observe what's happening inside you. That pause is everything. It's the moment of choice.
And the source even gives an internal script for that moment to guide the choice.
It does. Simple but powerful. I notice tension rising. My goal is clarity, not escalation. I will respond with calm presence. Just running that thought through your head can anchor you, shift your intention instantly.
Okay, let's make this practical. Think about a common scenario meeting domination. You know, that colleague who just keeps interrupting you, talking over you, dismissing your points. How does C.R.A.F.T work right there in the moment?
Great example. Perfect test case.
Yeah.
So first, you notice the trigger in the interruption, maybe the louder voice. That's step one.
Okay, notice.
Then you activate awareness. Take that 3-second internal pause. Run the script. Okay, tension's up. Goal is clarity, not a fight. Calm presence.
You've established that internal calm. Now you need to actually do something. Re-engage with F-fortitude. Set the boundary.
Exactly. Fortitude gives you the calm courage to speak up firmly but without apology. You might use a simple boundary statement, something like, appreciate the input, but I'd like to finish my point. Or, hold on, I wasn't quite done.
The key is the calm delivery, right? Not sounding defensive or angry.
Crucial. You're asserting your right to speak and be heard respectfully. Now, you've set the boundary, but you don't want to just leave it hanging there, potentially escalating things. That violates our respect. So tastefulness comes in immediately.
How? What does tastefulness look like right after setting that boundary?
It's often about redirection. Gracefully pivoting back to the objective, showing you still value the collaboration. So after your boundary statement, I wasn't finished, you immediately follow with something neutral and task-focused. Like, as I was saying, the impact on the Q3 budget is, or getting back to the data point. So you set the boundary firmly with fortitude, then immediately rebuild the bridge with tastefulness and respect.
You got it. You've handled the interruption assertively, but also steered the conversation back constructively. You use the whole sequence. Awareness, fortitude, tastefulness, all grounded in respect and aiming for clarity.
And that same sequence, that internal process, applies across the board, whether it's harsh criticism or someone pushing boundaries with jokes or pressure in a negotiation.
Universally, C.R.A.F.T provides that internal structure and the external language, whether it's neutral redirection, a fact plus feeling statement, an assertive boundary, maybe even tasteful humor if appropriate to respond with integrity every time. Okay, so the interaction ends. You've navigated the conflict using C.R.A.F.T, but the work isn't over yet, according to the sources.
Not quite. There's the critical step of post-interaction reflection.
Reflection, like journaling.
Yeah, or just taking a few minutes to think it through. What worked, what didn't? Which C.R.A.F.T element did I maybe forget to activate? Was I not aware enough and reacted too quickly?
Yeah.
Did I lack the fortitude to hold a boundary?
So you're constantly fine-tuning.
Exactly. That reflection is how you learn and strengthen those C.R.A.F.T muscles for next time. Continuous improvement.
It all seems to come back to consistent practice, integrating this into your daily routine. Let's just quickly recap that simple 3-part daily structure they suggest.
Super manageable. Morning, set an intention, pick a C.R.A.F.T mantra for the day. Maybe my clarity and my kindness, or I respond, I don't react.
Okay. Then during the day.
During the day, actively apply the micro habits and mini rituals. Use that 10-word test before sending an important email. Take 3 minutes for the center before speech ritual before you walk into that potentially difficult meeting.
And evening.
Evening. Reflect.
Yeah.
How did it go? Did you live up to your intention? Maybe do that recast conversation ritual if an interaction felt off. Jot down any lessons learned. Simple cycle.
And if you actually commit to this daily structure, the payoffs seem pretty significant. We're not just talking about sounding better.
No, far beyond that. It's about genuinely enhancing your leadership presence, dramatically cutting down on those regrettable, reactive moments, achieving clearer communication, and therefore greater influence.
And that underlying development of emotional awareness, spiritual intelligence, that alignment we talked about at the start.
That's the bedrock. That integrity infuses all your communication, making you more trustworthy, more effective, regardless of the situation.
This feels really practical, actually. Something you, the listener, can start doing right away. Maybe identify just one micro habit for each C.R.A.F.T element that resonates with you. Try one today.
Yeah, or schedule that 3-minute center before speech ritual before your very next call or meeting you anticipate might be challenging. Small steps.
Integrate these tiny, intentional practices, and you really start to master not just your words, but your overall presence.
Absolutely, your communication and your leadership impact.
We want to leave you with a final thought, a mantra from the source material that really encapsulates the importance of this work.
It's this. Your words shape influence. Your presence shapes leadership.
So based on our deep dive today, ask yourself, what's one small intentional practice you'll start today to make sure your presence truly reflects the integrity and influence you want to have? Think about that. We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.